Mayong gabi.
Hayag kayo. Ngayong gabi.
Well, still, di kay gabi naman sa Pilipinas.
Right. Good afternoon in Dubai.
Good afternoon in Dubai.
Yes.
Mayong gabi in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Welcome to Food House. My name is Dave Fuentes.
Mike Rodriguez.
And yeah, so before anything else, I think you should explain what Food House is. Introduce them to the show.
The show is all about what we like, what we places we've been,
Mm-hmm.
and of course a lot of the things that we can talk about and still talk about. The years that we've been together.
Tell them about Food House. Ganong Food House man?
Food House is about a place that we used to
Mm.
go to before when we were younger. So
Mhm.
in Cagayan de Oro City, there's this place in Kauswagan. It's a carinderia called
It
Food
is.
House. And we used to go there for food.
So for all the kids who are listening there, sa una nga wala pa'y cellphone,
Oh, yes.
what we used to do was kung manglakaw mi is tawagan na mo ang among mga amigo through a landline.
Landline.
I sound so boomer right now, but
For
yes.
sure.
Manawag mi landline, may food house, kita ta food house in 10 minutes or pila ka minutos.
Mhm.
Hinay baklay pagabot sa food house, maghulat, kung kita, aya ta magsakay og jeep.
Correct. And also we used to have if wala tay makaon or maluto sa balay, Food House always was the solution.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Also, Food House had some killer sinabaw na baka.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
the
of
sinabaw na baka
course.
in a plastic bag
Yeah, in Tawag
And-
Silupin.
in
Tawag
Silupin,
Silupin,
and
yes.
it makes you wonder kung yun survive sa Silupin.
Mm.
Nga init kaya ang sabaw.
I finally figure out unsay tawag ana sa to, nilatan.
Was
Nilatang
it?
baka. Oh, nilatang baka.
Was it nilatang
Mm.
baka?
Okay, they would ilahang latan ang baka for pila ka hours ba na before you serve.
Sakto. Yeah, that was killer
That
though.
was killer. It pwede pa ni udto, pwede to fix like a hangover, like when we used to
Oh
sleepovers in
yeah,
yung balay before.
yeah, sakto.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good
That
place.
was a killer spot.
Killer spot.
Obviously,
good place.
if we weren't at the Food House, if dili ta kailangan mo kaon sa Food House,
Mm.
you also had a yaya before that cooked really, really good
Corned beef.
itlog and meatloaf.
Meatloaf. Yes, I was about to say the meatloaf.
Oh my God.
She cooks killer meatloaf.
Everything that she touched
Mm.
in the kitchen was good.
I forgot her name. God bless her.
Yeah, God bless her.
I think that was just
Ate, yeah.
Kadumdum
she's
ka
there.
ni her son who was living with us, RJ. Kadumdum ka
RJ,
RJ.
I remember RJ, yeah. So
Kadula na ko si RJ sa una sa kanang NBA live sa
Oh.
PC. Ligaw
Player
ka na
two.
mo.
Ikaw
Player
player two.
2. Ako player 2. Akong gina-setupan og kanang mga aliyop ito
Oh, kanang
sa NBA live.
mga aliyop,
Yeah,
yes.
that was very fun. So,
Yeah.
to what Mike said or Mike's description of Food House, this is also something sort of an excuse for us to banter once a week actually.
Yeah.
And we're also planning to invite some guests over, some friends over.
Pohon.
Pohon,
Definitely
pohon. And hopefully, they can also share the stories that we also share. But going back to Food House, let's. I want to talk about your favorite food, and the memories that you've had with food. Let's start with you're obviously you're now working with your own brand now, Mokongs.
Yeah.
When did that start? Did you have an inclination to cook or to create a good set of
Not really. Hingaon lang gid ko from before. I mean, probably growing up, both sides of the families, they always had gatherings. Na we would like holiday ka ng mga special occasions like Christmas, New Year, birthdays even.
Yeah.
And we would when I was younger, I would get invited, and then they would cook killer food. Like akong tita would serve really, really good, like for example, like escabeche, or
Yeah.
there's always sa dessert, for example, brazo de mercedes. So there were always handmade and baked, and of course mga killer spaghetti. So as you were growing up, I knew that I belonged to a family na hingluto jud, and of course
Killer
hingaon.
spaghetti.
Killer
What's
spaghetti.
what's a killer spaghetti, by the
A
way?
killer spaghetti is a spaghetti that tastes better than Jollibee spaghetti. Anything at that level, I can tell you one. Hannibal's spaghetti sa Cagayan City serve really,
Ooh,
really great spaghetti.
I don't
Hannibal's
think
in
I've
Divisoria.
I don't think I've had that.
You should have it. You have it with iced tea.
Kabalo ka
Hannibal's.
unsa akong gakaidom-duman nga spaghetti persimmons.
Oh, yes.
It's
Persimmon.
not that good though, pero it's
Killer,
homey.
killer spaghetti.
It's yeah.
That's what you call a
Yeah.
killer spaghetti, yes.
Um kanumdum ko parisan ako na og katong mango shake nila
Oh, yeah.
og siopaw on the side.
Shopa on the side. Asado on the side.
Asado on the side.
Absolutely.
Yeah, afternoon snack.
Afternoon snack, yeah. After that was close to Xavier, so I'm pretty sure college was it?
No, not
Or
even
even
college.
in high school.
Even
Mm.
before. But more so into college na
Mhm.
na sometimes katong magsugod ako trabaho, you would splurge a bit
Yeah,
pag
yeah, yeah.
makasweldo na. And persimmons was one of them.
At bang baka inyohang imong trabahoan before at bang ba siya sa katong persimmon dapit dito sa Divisoria, or was it
Nearby.
dapit Gilyamak, di ba?
Yeah,
That side,
yeah.
yeah.
That
Mm.
katong sa likod nga side.
Kasalikod, right?
Speaking of killer food, what was unsa imong kanang memorable or um
Di
that
malimtan.
not really di malimtan but some a food or a dish that would take you back or take you back memories, take you back home.
Ah, kaning lengua.
Lengua, interesting.
Yeah.
I
I
would
I didn't know what it was made of until recently lang. Like probably 6 years ago. Nadila di siya sa baka. But I really loved it. Like madumduman ako before it was prepared like it was like the
unsay timpla.
showstopper.
Unsay timpla sa lengua.
Lengua is obviously beefy. So it's not gamey. The taste is sort of rich with
Mm,
milk, and then
mm,
you have very onion kind of flavor, and it's not spicy, very umami.
mm,
And of course, there's galaway na ko. So, ang yahang the creaminess sa yahang stock, obviously ang sabaw niya, and then obviously your meat na you wouldn't know it's beef tongue,
mm.
and then when you eat it, it just melts sa imong mouth. So that's what lengua is for me. Di gid ako na malimtan ka na nga taste.
Yeah.
And
I
maka-rice ka siya, maka-andi rice.
the the dish for me would have to be sinugbang baboy
Oh,
or sinuglaw.
oh,
Um I would, if I ever have those, it takes me back to my memories in Bunbun.
oh, dagat.
Yeah,
Tama,
dagat.
tama, tama, bro. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I used to remember when my relatives from Zamboanga would come over. Sa akong mom's side,
Mm-hmm.
obviously magtipok-tipok, and
Mm-hmm.
then um, si tawag gani?
Padagat.
Padagat.
Mm.
Padagat.
Ragas
There's
Beach. Ragas
auto,
Beach. Automatic.
automatically
Mm.
sinugba gina. And it's probably because of that memory,
Mm-hmm.
but also I mean grilled pork. It's just you can never go wrong
Yeah,
with grilled pork in my
you
opinion.
cannot go wrong with it. And of course it goes with everything.
Yeah,
Pwede ka mag-rice, pwede siya ug kanang ano lang kanang sa isaw-saw sa suka.
so
Oh,
ipulutan,
ipulutan.
isudan.
Oh. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Grilled pork plus there's other grilled options like panga.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure familiar ka na or kanang isda bitaw nga overcooked.
Yeah. Pero humukay sa pikas.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Uh,
Where did you go to for? Was there any restaurant sa Cagayan de Oro that served really
um,
good lingua?
lengua for me, VIP hotel, served.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Is VIP hotel mo ba na ang hotel gyapon nga serve og killer pancit?
Beside it, Yeast Kitchenette. No, no, not Yeast
Y-
Kitchenette.
Yeah,
The
he's
one, Bagong Lipunan. I think you're talking about Bagong
yeah,
Lipunan.
yeah, of course. Bagong Lipunan is one of
It's
them.
beside
Yeah,
VIP.
Yeast is also one of them. Pero namagiputoyo sa kahot, I forgot.
You can fact check me on this, guys. Sa podcast.
Yeah,
Those in the comment
yeah.
below. I know VIP is known for a couple of things. It's their kanagapon the siopao, and then there's also la flan. Like I
Oh,
could be
okay. I
wrong,
can remember now.
but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
Dynasty Court also served,
oh,
but it's the posh pancit.
it's the posh pancit,
Yeah,
and it's the mga it's the how to say the three-course meal ang ilang known for. Grand Caprice,
Grand Caprice.
that
There
one
you go.
too. That one
Mm,
too. That one too.
those had
The
killer dishes. Yeah.
killer Asian cuisine, and sometimes na say fusion cuisine. So
Now, now that I'm thinking of it, I've never had. I never remember unsa nga mga tindahan before or eatery that serve
eateries like
good sinugbang baboy. I think whenever I don't think you can ever go. I mean, as long as you're a legit restaurant
right.
or kanang karinderya, I don't think you can go wrong with sinugbang baboy. I mean,
Yeah.
you could. I don't think you could ever destroy apart from obviously kung masunog
Masunog jud
nimo siya.
siya. Or
That's
ma-undercook nimo is even worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or even from when our good brother from another mother, Mr. Doyle Calowan, was still
Oh
grilling
yeah. Yes, yes.
in
Dito sa Upper Carmen.
Upper Carmen,
Right,
yes.
right.
Even that was I remember katong newly me
Wa na
na
ko kasapuan actually kanayang grilling spot.
yeah, I think
They
you were
said it
still
was
in
good.
Cebu
Cebu
when
pa ko ato nga
yeah
time.
yeah
Di ba
that
taga
was fun.
kita.
His spot was fun.
Mm.
Bibo man to ato nga panahon.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, and also I can remember
Mm.
barbecue. Obviously, when you have sinugba, obviously you love
They
barbecue.
have barbecue, yes.
Unsa ginang sikat nga barbecue sa ato gani?
Big B's.
Big no no
Butcher's Best. Sorry, not
butcher's
Big
best.
B's. Butcher's
Yes,
Best. Mm.
butcher's best
Yes,
man.
yes.
Is napo ba sila karon?
Butcher's Best, the best tasting barbecue. Butcher's Best, deliciously right for you. Butcher's
Skit.
Best, the best.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I if you've noticed, you've before I remember for mokongs, you asked me for
oh yes
barbecue.
yes yes yes.
So I have come to create I'm proud to say that I've created a middle how to say a combination of butcher's best type of of sorry of barbecue
Yeah yeah
and barbecue sa kogon.
yeah exactly.
It's somewhere in between that. I'm sure.
That's legit. Yeah, I um every time mag-order mi ana murag dili lagi maugmaan lagi.
Yeah, it cannot be. I mean, for for how many sticks and how many mouths to feed, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Barbecue is one of our best sellers, and it goes quickly.
I'm trying to remember some good barbecues that when traveling. Japan has one of the best
Mm,
skewers and barbecues,
right.
the yakitoris that they have.
Mm,
They pride themselves in kanang pagka-juicy sa karne.
okay.
At the same time, very minimal in the flavor. And they're very conscious about you experiencing kung unsa ka humok ilang karne yun, unsa ka quality ilang karne.
Mm, mm.
And it's usually um ang ilang timpla is either shoyu, which is their
It's a soy sauce.
murag soy sauce
Light soy
nila,
sauce. Yeah.
or it's plain salt.
Salt and pepper. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't been to Japan anywhere,
Yeah.
I would highly suggest um going and at least once
Yes.
and try their food. I mean, you with you having a business in the food industry, you'll learn a lot kung gaon saon nila.
For sure. For
And
sure.
and another thing with Japan as well is that in the different provinces or in the different prefectures of Japan
Mm-hmm.
is they have their own specialty. So
Mm.
some other
Prefecture.
prefectures are very good with scallops,
Mm-hmm.
king crabs. The
Another spot is
another
known
spot
for
is
yeah.
known for sushi and the fresh seafood. In some other and the thing with them is ang kung unsa sila ka creative in general is also how creative they are when it comes to culinary arts and food in general. So That's, I would say, Japan is probably one of those places if
Yeah.
you're into
if
food.
if you're a,
Yeah.
if you're a foodie, like a diehard na
Yeah.
ano good, like a world traveler plus you like food,
Yep.
you highly recommend Japan.
Yeah.
And
Highly
I can
recommend.
I can say the same thing. I've never been to Japan, but whenever restaurants here attempt
Yep.
to capture the authentic Japanese na experience,
Mm.
they all go for flavor, and then obviously they go for freshness, and
Yep.
they go for this thing called like simplicity sa ilang recipes. It's
Yep.
all about like when I cook something, I ensure na the lesser the ingredients, the better to highlight good ang
Uh, yeah.
and it goes to show how crafty they are good when it comes to food.
Sadly though, I mean, maybe I'm biased kay kapila namin nakabisita sa Japan.
Yeah.
But the Japanese restaurants here are, well, it's also understandable because if it's hard to find original ingredients,
Right.
kumbaga, to cook and to imitate
Sure.
what authentic
What authentic
Japanese.
rest? Yeah, like a farm to table or
Yeah,
farm to restaurant
exactly.
na
And also it
na
has,
setup.
to, and obviously you can correct me on this, but most of their cooking is also attributed to, um, or the quality of their cooking is also attributed to the quality of the water they have
Yeah,
within the different regions.
that's also there. Correct.
Kung
Mm.
lami kag tubig and health, and pure kag tubig, lami kay imong sudan or
Mm.
whatever dish that you're making.
Correct.
Um, so the Japanese restaurants here, although they're really good, mabias ka ba kay you've tasted the
You
original?
tasted the real thing
Yeah, exactly.
from Japan. Good. Mm.
The nearest experience I've had siguro was, for example, when it comes to ramen, I would highly recommend Wokyo dere. If you've never been to
Mm-hmm.
Wokyo, go to Wokyo. They have, in my opinion, the closest taste to authentic ramen, especially in Hokkaido.
Mm-hmm.
So Wokyo would be good. And Ikadua, I'm really looking forward to Sushiro
Oh
in
yes,
Expo.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
you should, and I'm 100% sure
Nakakaano
you
ba
will
ka?
not be
Nakakaano ka dito?
twice
Twice? And Sushiro?
and twice in Shushiro, and we're going again this
Ah, yeah,
Saturday.
man. Yeah, and they said it's really close.
I will eat a third time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I waited on the second try. I waited an hour and a half just to get counter seating kami ni Iman, and it
Mm.
was surely worth the wait. And I am really praying na mag-open sila here
Yeah.
sa Dubai
Yeah,
because
I think so.
they have not.
That would be really smart.
Yeah.
Do they have the, so Sushiro, especially in Hokkaido, they have, I mean, probably in every Sushiro.
Yeah.
Obviously you have the ordering iPad
Yes.
or ordering display.
The ordering display. Yes.
Do they have the katong gripo nila nga matcha?
Gripo matcha is absent. There's tea. There's a
Ah.
tea. I probably missed it. It's probably at the back, and I was
Mm.
probably too hungry to notice it.
Okay,
So
so
I went
they,
directly to the ordering.
so nai gripo with the hot water, and you have matcha at the side.
I'm sure it's there. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Probably it's
probably
there.
there.
Yeah.
Um, and do they have um katong murag ilang wasabi nga paste?
They have the wasabi paste in
Yeah.
the plastic
Yeah.
that you take from the conveyor. Yes.
Ah, cool, man. Yeah, I'm really looking forward
They
to that.
have it. They have it.
So Sushiro is probably
Closest.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm anticipating one of the closest when it comes to
My
sushi.
my favorite is I wasn't on the sushi side because I'm trying to not eat that much seafood. Kay
Mm.
Iman is there, and
Mm.
we're very careful about that part. So we went for the ramens, and my favorite is always the how to say the not the shoyu ramen, but
Miso.
the miso.
Yeah.
Mm. The miso is. I still ordered it. I had it. I ordered it again,
Yep.
and I will order it again this
So
Saturday.
yeah, so ramen in Japan is very popular with the thick or thin, depende sa restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
The slabs of pork that they put on top.
Yikes.
Ah, grabe kalami na. And they would,
Sinugba? Gisugba nga pork or kanang like
so
light grilling, frying?
it's not lechon sugba.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't know how to describe it. In some restaurants that we've been to, especially the small ones, kada bitong mga family operated.
Yeah, yeah.
More siyang
Mm-hmm.
half cooked, thin slices.
Right, right. Yeah.
Pero dagko.
Yes.
Usually they cover the bowl, and ramen bowls are
Are
huge.
huge. They're
Yeah,
huge.
they're
Yeah.
huge. And miso, if you want to go for kanang medyo light lang,
Mm-hmm.
shoyu is when you
Mm-mm.
really want to go heavy
Yeah, yeah.
on
Udon is light. This is the clear na the udon ramen is the
yeah,
clear soup. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to
There
sushiro.
don't expect too much sa portions because they have really small ramen portions. 'Cause I think they're going for
I don't. I mean, if you're going for sushiro, I don't think I'll go for ramen though.
mhm. I think you'll go for
Yeah,
the sushi.
I'll go
Mm.
for the sushi that they have. Okay, mo gina mong experience ito. And with ramen, the at least in our experience, the ramen shops there in Japan is the smaller the place, the better the ramen is. I don't know, for some reason. Naging me to I'll never forget this.
That's funny.
It's me, Shane, yung gago ni Shane, si Abby, og si Coco.
Hmm.
Shout out to you guys. Adto mi og, I think, was it Shibuya? We were in Tokyo. Um, yeah, we were in Tokyo. Their first visit in Tokyo, so we took them around, and we discovered this ramen shop. Just siguro likod lang sa Shibuya.
Hmm.
Murag gutom na miya to, nangita ra mig restaurant.
Okay.
So the small shop we went through was like gutom na kapoy na mangita. So
Hmm.
went to there, and there were only two people there. It was the father and the daughter.
Okay.
The daughter looked like
Was she
kinsa
pretty?
ng kinsa ng artistang I forgot her name. Yeah, chinitang artista.
Kim Chu?
No, the other one.
Sandara Parks?
No. I'll look out for the name later on, but she really looked like a celebrity. Nga
Aubrey Miles?
nga 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 naka-apron and chinita. Hamis kayo, and she served ramen just like nothing. And kami katanaw murag, dude, you could have been a celebrity
Yeah.
anywhere in the Philippines or could be
Or
anywhere. So
here.
she was gorgeous,
She
and
was
yeah,
gorgeous.
she was
Yeah.
gorgeous. And I was also surprised nga, well, not really surprised, but still surprised to see on seeing the actual nga ang ilang gamit nga tubig is just tap water.
Mhm.
Bugnaw nga tap water,
Right.
which their views, and still the ramen was like
Correct.
killer
Yeah, I
ramen.
think it's sakto ka when you said earlier na water had something to
Yeah.
do with it. Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. It's like clean,
Yeah, it's
really, really
also
good water.
they're not only with ramen and food, but they're also attributing the pureness or the high quality of spirits, or let's say um whiskey,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Japanese whiskey,
yeah.
or
If there's sake,
sake,
mm,
is also, they're attributing those the high quality of those items from
water.
the water that they source it from, which is amazing.
Hmm.
Imagine. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I mean, so sure, yeah, that's one thing that I'm looking forward to. You went to Turkey.
Yeah,
Was it two
fairly
years ago,
recently.
right?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Fairly
Was
recently.
there any sort of culinary adventures that you went through?
Yeah, too much of a, I would say, adventure, misadventure, because obviously we had kebab
Oh
every turn,
yes. Mm.
and like barbecue, like your favorite. The only difference is that it's overwhelming sadog flavor. So you have the beef kebab, which is the
Mm.
endemic sa country. So
Mm.
Iman did not have it before, and she was scared to try.
Mm.
And then when we both tried it, and then it was like every day magsige na mi og kaon. It was not the KFCs anymore and
What's the
whatnot.
difference, curious cook? Because um I've never had kebab nga, which is cooked originally in the place where they came from. Kumbaga.
Uh
What's the difference sa
it's
kadang kebab na
it's
atong
gotta
gaka-experience
be
na ni?
it's gotta be the, how to say, when you're, it's gotta be who's making it, because when it's raw, right?
Mm.
And you stare at it at the front, and then there's this guy who's probably been doing it for 10 years,
Yeah.
and like he really knows his stuff. Like he knows what the ingredients are there,
The
and he can
sweat.
tell you which ones. Absolutely. And you know that you're getting the real deal. So the difference for me really is you're in the spot wherein you're expecting to get really great
Yeah.
kebab and you're gonna have great kebab.
Mm.
And for sure you're not gonna get disappointed. It really
Mm.
tasted great versus when you go to like a mall and then you eat it like from a cafeteria.
Yeah.
It's like different. It's experience and this sweaty guy just doing his thing.
What's
Yeah.
it's funny you mentioned disappointment. What's a dish that you had high hopes for, but were
Uh
completely disappointed when you had it?
oh man. It's a lot. There's one there's one sorry about this though, but there's this Korean noodles that
Jajangmyeon?
I didn't I ordered it and I did not understand what it was and it just said yes. It's glass noodles and I did not know that they serve it cold.
Oh,
So it went downhill from there. The flavor was great.
unsay timpla?
I can barely remember. Totally forgettable because obviously it was new to me. It was cold
Mm.
noodles.
Unsa sinabaw?
Yes, sinabaw and glass noodles. It's like you have like you have noodles and you cook noodles
Bihon
and you
lagan.
forget.
Is bihon glass
It's
noodles?
like flat. It's like flat fettuccine, like glass,
Oh, okay,
like
okay, okay,
this,
okay, okay. Yeah.
and then and you have it, and then like, oh, let me have a side dish. So it's just not. It was new, and
Mm.
we never got to the bottom of the bowl. So
Oh,
I was
yeah.
so it was like, oh, that
Yeah. I
kind of
mean, cold
disappointing.
noodles again. Sorry, going back to Japanese again. I think they have their version of cold noodles. I forgot what it was. Pero ang ilaha dito is cold noodles. Unsa kay pangalan na ng katubitang noodles nga bugnaw gani? I'm asking my wife. Soba. There you go.
Ah,
So
soba.
soba noodles
Mm,
is served cold
okay,
and imo siya ido-do og patis
okay,
or soy
or soy
sauce
sauce for flavor.
for flavor. So what our Japanese uncle did katong
Mm,
first time naman na experience is we were I think it was 5 a.m. because we were heading to the airport
mm,
pabalik na danay
pabalik
Dubai.
na. Mm.
And so we had to have breakfast and he cooked us up. So it's really interesting. Okay, first time na to na ako nakita. So nagkuha siya soba. It was and soba is I think if I'm not mistaken is seaweed noodles
Mm, mm.
or at least that katunga version was
Yeah,
seaweed
yeah.
noodles. So it was green. So yung gipaaga sa tubig. Nga bugnaw
Okay.
kayo.
Of course, yeah.
Yung
Rinse.
gi-rinse niya. And then he put it on a bowl and then mo na to. And then he cooked us meatloaf. Murag
Okay.
pares kay kabalo
Yeah,
man siya
right.
nga so supposed to be when you're eating soba, you kanang soba ra gyud imong kanon.
Correct.
Murag
Yeah.
mo na inong
That's it.
staple.
That's the
Oh,
meal.
pero
Yeah.
kabalo man siya nga Pinoy lagi. So lutuan man niya meatloaf. And that was a
Magaling
killer
wala na giapila rice.
hapit na.
How did that?
Hapit na. But that
How
was
did it taste with the meatloaf?
um
Describe it.
it was I, I'm not sure if it's because we were hungry that time.
Hmm.
Excuse me. Um or it was a completely different experience, but it was a killer combination. And even up to now, that was siguro 5 years ago. And even up to now, magsiming balik-balik ato nga experience kay lami kayo ang bugnaw nga noodles.
Hmm.
Ay do nimo sa patis.
Right.
You have it and then you have meatloaf
On the
on
side.
the side. And yeah, that
Killer
was really
combo.
great. Killer combo. Killer combo. One of the probably best breakfast dish that we've ever had. So
Mm.
yeah, going back to disappointment, mine was Vienna sausages.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, unfortunately for me, I just had the ones in the can. I'm sure you had it in the
yeah.
proper Vienna sausages in Vienna. I'm sure.
So sorry, people from Vienna, but
Yes.
um, maybe the reason because it was street food, like
Mhm.
it was street Vienna sausages. So we had it, and it was like real long. I think it was a foot long.
Okay.
And obviously, same thing. Murag, nangita kanang nagpalit na miya to kanang makita na ba. But the store
Street food.
was
Yeah.
jam packed. Like
Okay.
it was a long line outside.
So it must
And
have been good, obviously, because if
yeah,
it was a long
so
line,
so
yeah.
probably it was a local favorite
Yeah,
at the time. And it was
sure.
Christmas time, so it was a in between Christmas market. So we went there, apilapin mig linya kay syempre linya ba, so
Oh, so
lami.
limit niya. Mm.
And once we had it, murag ako para murag, I imagine sort of a siguro a pure foods nga to the higher level bitaw kay nga kanang lami gid bitaw kay nga hotdog
Right, right,
nga sausage.
right. Like a
But
tender,
then when
juicy hot dog.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was thinking about that, or
yeah.
maybe
The
my
expectation was
expectation.
that, yeah.
And then it turned out nga grabe madigi ka parat.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So the
But parat how? Like the brine, or they
for
put it
yes,
probably
yes,
that,
I think
no?
that's the right term, right? Ang brine
The
is the timpla,
the
right?
brine is, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
2 parts salt, 1 part water. Yeah,
yeah. So
it's
it
gotta be the brine.
was sobra nagigi ka parat.
Okay.
And I had a foot long of it and sayang kayo, so I had to consume everything. And after that, it was like murag ko gibidli bitas
And
kaparat.
after that, dialysis.
And yeah, that was one
Sorry.
of the most disappointing because you Vienna sausage is probably one of those um high hyped up, or not really hyped up, pero kanang dako kay siya there's a reputation to
Viennese, yeah.
Viennese, right?
To the Viennese.
Yeah, to the Viennese sausages, and murag lami na siya. And ended up like very yeah, and
Very
a
meh.
very strong asin,
Very salty.
very asin.
Lasang Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's so from disappointment, let's talk about dining experiences.
Yeah.
And have you ever had a a dining experience where it was not only the food but the service, the location? What's something memorable to you?
Uh, I have been,
I'm sure
um,
you've had many
yeah,
of those,
many of those. That
since you know where to go. And
the spots. Yes. I kind of get caught off guard with that question for sure. There is plenty of places, but I think the one that for me really sticks out would be like, for example, places like VIP Hotel, which is like
mm,
my parents used to go there often.
mm.
And I would remember that because the ambiance, the when you have food there, like the smell of the room is great. It's like woody,
Yeah.
and the food is always great, and it brings you, back to like really good memories.
Mm,
And of course, you compare that to other places that I've been to, for example, like Dynasty
mm.
or Grand Caprice. So you always never seem to notice the food, but it's always like the people
Yeah.
that you're with. It's
Yeah.
like your uncles or your
Yeah.
aunts. So I never took notice of it when I was back home, up until maybe when I got a bit older and when I started to travel and when I got married. That's when we started seriously,
How
having
about here in Dubai? Have you had those experiences?
Yes, yes, of course. We dined in the Palm before, and well, the experience was not that great, but the food was killer. Definitely, it's you win some and you lose some in some
Mm,
places, so it's
yeah.
not really
Yeah.
not really big on that.
Uh,
Yeah.
sa Pinas, I would have to say Big Beast man siguro.
Hmm.
Um, we've at least for us, we've always had good experiences at Big Beast.
How about
Um,
the Centro?
Centro, I can't remember. We had breakfast at Centro
Yeah, Centro
before.
in number 16 Don A. Vela Street.
No, I'm thinking about a different restaurant there. De
It's a
Centro. Yes,
it's a
Centro.
perfect place to be with family and friends.
Is there?
That-
Is
That's
there?
the jingle.
That's
That's
a
the
joke.
jingle. Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in siguro kung experience lang apil a pagkaon, I would have to say, remember the restaurant we went to before tayo took our Alexis bar? I think it was the Lexus restaurant.
I think
Katubi to sa tabok.
Lexus Bar.
Lexus Bar. Remember
We
that?
had, yes, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Who would
So,
forget Lexus Bar?
nagtukarta
The
dito.
place to be.
And then before that na nga,
We dined somewhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
nanas
remember.
dool. Basta natos dool katong unli rice gyapon nga.
Cowboy Grill.
Was that Cowboy Grill?
Well, there was. I think it was Cowboy Grill, or was it? Or was it?
Oh, nabay Cowboy Grill taka ro.
Dapat ay Cowboy Grill sa.
Naulo ba siguro yung
No,
Cowboy
it
Grill?
was. Kinamot ga folk. Now the folk singer.
Yes, exactly.
This is
Exactly.
my first set.
Exactly. Wala siya. Wala siya.
Hey Jude. Bumitaw
Gabalik-balik
ko.
mi dito actually kay
Oo.
Unli Rice. Lami po ilang
Manok.
lami
Lami ang
ilang
manok.
manok. Yes.
Mm.
Killer lechon manok.
Killer inasal. Oh, killer
Killer
inasal na manok.
inasal.
Ni Anli Rice.
Unli Rice, yeah.
Dili kaya ni ang ambot guys. Let us know
Yeah,
from
let
the
us know
comments.
for those who can
Dili
remember.
niyang inilog.
I think so. Maybe. Maybe.
The inilog na ay there's a like a public area.
Unsa ngalan gay ana nga dalan gani katong sa Lexus sauna?
I wouldn't really remember. Dili man ay copy no. Basta ka nang dapit man na before
Basin
Pilgrim.
inilog ta siya.
Could be inilog grill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dito Cowboy Grill kaya ang Cowboy Grill sorry sa ano mo din na di ay sa Manila na ang Cowboy Grill. Oo,
Yeah.
nasikat.
I don't think we've
Wala
we've
pa.
had
Inilog. Inilog.
Okay.
Ako ma-remember ana ang folk singer gid.
Yeah. They had those. They had those.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my first set. Thank you very much for going to Odinalog. Yeah.
Um Huwag ka tawag, okay?
Nga dulit ka sa mic. This is my first set.
Madumduman mo na exactly how they sound like when they introduce their set.
Yeah. Mo ginao. Kana
Yeah.
pina-slurred nga murag, I think I'm having a stroke that I won't acknowledge it.
But they were good.
But they were amazingly
really
good.
good.
Suddenly
Oh.
murag pag magpagkanta na kay magawas na din ang
Yeah.
reverb. Where did that come from? Asa lagi ka ng reverb?
Yeah, I'll never forget that. Kay katong
Yeah.
una na to ato dito so naniyapon ta and we were
Naniyapon
waiting
ta.
for our set.
Yes.
Tukar
Napakita
dito.
sabaw on the side.
Yeah, sabaw on the side.
Mm.
And then after ato kasi ginon din migbalik-balik ato
Yes.
dito kay lami ang pagkaon.
Lami. Yeah, nato sa lake ka ng aircon area, remember?
Yeah,
This is why. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was in Inilog.
Inilog. Maybe Inilog.
But yeah, do let us know guys if
Yes.
if you can
Sayop
remember
ko,
those.
dili to Cowboy Grill kaysa Manila dito. Ang probably Cowboy Grill's known for something else sa Manila.
Yeah.
But there's one place na di gid na known kay sa Cagayan de Oro, and I'm sure you probably been but I've been there often. Kaning eatery nga Elnas. I'm sure you remember Elnas.
Yes, and
The
Asa
Pantawid,
ganing-
it's like really the best place if you are in like if you have
Asa
like, your
ganing
cash
ang
trapped and Elnas.
ang yan ang Elnas.
There is a before Poveda, Pabayo, Tomasaco.
Yeah.
Dolores Pabayo.
Okay, yeah. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dolores Pabayo de. It's not the Tomasaco is right the opposite. Yeah. With the nagapon sinugba, sabaw, and then the rice na.
Yeah.
At 10 pesos you have a complete complete lunch.
Ang akong go to when you're strapped for cash kay katong
Asa?
manukan bitaw nga JRJ.
Oh yes. Unfortunately, bro, I have like sad news for you. They're closing their
No,
last
ah?
branch. Yeah.
Mo
No
ba?
shit. Yeah.
Kano sa lang.
I saw it in Facebook and really, really sad news.
I'll never forget
Kay lami gid ang JRJ.
well, di ko kalimot itong nag-inom ni Doy Doy X-Paps.
Mhm.
Shout out to X-Paps.
X-Paps.
He'll
Yes.
be our first guest soon.
Yeah.
But
How's your feet? And how's your ears?
Yeah. Take care, dude.
Take care, yeah.
See you
We
soon.
pray for you, man.
Sige ito. So we were I remember we were having an all-nighter at nga panahon and it was
What year was this?
siguro so 2008 we went momentong nga year nga
Before man
ning
yan,
nag-travel on yan
Mhm.
hidani. So probably around 2006.
Okay.
Or
2006.
Basta nag-inom niya to tibok gabi and we were jumping places.
Mhm.
So and I think alauna naman siguro to. And
Kadlaw na.
kadlawon na, and obviously we had to eat, and bibo bitaw na nga strip diya kanang dapit sa Dynasty.
Mm.
Katong napay Ralph sa una.
Nairaw sa bistro.
Kanang adalan.
Mm.
And so niyapit mig JRJ, kaon mi didto, and all of a sudden nag-blackout bitaw na.
Na
Nag-blackout ang tibok
uh,
syudad.
uh,
I'm not, I,
technically brownout na sa to, but the
uh,
proper term is blackout.
yeah,
Ni brownout na.
Brown out ang tibok. I'm not sure if di ba sa Cagayan kay usay mag-brown out or bitaw na
The
usa ka
one
area.
block lang.
Oh. Pero
Ato
katong
tanan.
murag tanan man siguro to kay kanumdum ko ngit-ngit, and murag na nagsinumbagay sa kilid. So murag nagkatag bitaw yung mga tao bitaw dagan-dagan. Hindi ko kalimutan to. And we were in the middle of it. And hubog na kay binidoy.
Pagpalong. Hiram.
Murag nagamit ko yung daga bitaw. Kami hubog na kay. Yeah, what's
going on?
Murag, unsa di oy.
Kaon gapon.
Kaon gyapon.
Kay puso biya tong manok
puso.
di ba combo. Yeah.
Then paggawas kanunod ko ato nga paggawas ni namo dagan kay tao gadagan. Then murag nagsuka man siguro ko sa scale. Ana siya ga. Ay sig suka-suka niya. Atutag tinal pa itong Gatorade. Oo. Naibitaw na yun murag so Morning Dynasty.
Yes.
Then murag club bito dani.
Mhm.
Nga kalimot ko unsay ngalan nadto eh. Then dalan pa
Katong Pulse.
exactly.
Pulse.
Dynasty Pulse, then murag
Naigatindag mangga diri skili.
na convenience store
Store.
din palit
Na convenience store gamay.
palit mig Gatorade dito, and we went home after that. So I'll never forget that experience. JRJ was really good though.
Yes. Ako maka-vouch ka na because every evening katong call center pa ko ga-work sa una sa Ariba.
Oh yeah.
Every lunchtime now, which is kadlawon kay ano man may US account. GRJ may magrela mi from Limket Kay niya. GRJ na duha gina ka manok. Duha ka katandag ko nga portions niya. For some reason kay kabalo ko tasty kay siya, di ba? Murag humok niya.
Lay ba to ilang size ato?
Nay
GRJ.
mapili kag katong drumstick pero ang lami ato kato ilang murag pinadako jud nga crispy kay
lagi kagdamdam ko
ya
ato.
maka-rice gig ka niya.
Yeah.
Butangan bitaw tinlaog ka ng papel. Ang imong plato-plato.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ano dayon? Soft drinks din on the side.
Soft drinks.
It was the price. For me, it was the price plus the taste. Na init siya always. Ano nimo i-serve nimo, di ba? Because they were always frying. And
speaking of call center, how does I'm really curious. Unsa yung in terms of food and how you, because obviously ang inyong body clock is on the opposite side.
Yeah, the
diba?
other side, yeah.
So unsa man inyong like kanusa mo manihapon, and what do you do for, let's say, snacks kung gutom mo nimo in the middle of like
in the evening?
In the evening.
There probably would be people just either have their own food na they bring with them. I mean, you cannot snack in between calls. Okay, it's not like you're in an office, so you either have
but
coffee.
let's say your shifts are what 10,
So,
10
you
to
come in at 8 in the evening.
8 in the evening.
So
Okay.
you're probably eaten already. Like
so manihapon ka daan.
dinner or that's actually a bad idea. Kung manihapon ka daan, katulgon ka
Yep.
to come to work, so you don't. So you come in and you eat at around 12 or 1 a.m.
Jesus.
and you eat really heavy, like nagi ka ng proper lunch, like with rice and a meal.
So muna alas 12.
Yeah, and then na alas 12, and then when 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, duka na din kina.
Yeah.
And then you have another meal which is sa pamahaw. So when it's like 7 a.m., tig panggawas na, you eat again. And sometimes people drink even, manginom and everything. So
I was about
for
to
sure,
say
2 meals.
I was about to say the drinking part kay kita ko ni Blue sa una.
For sure. And we were
Oh,
office mates
oh,
at some
kato.
point
Oh,
at
kita na ko siya
the beginning. Yeah.
Naiimnanan bitaw di sa Kitkay sa
Yes.
una.
It's called Kiss.
Seriously?
Kiss. K-S. Yes. It's a Kiss. Kiss Cafe.
Okay, a moment siguro na.
Kanang
Kita na ko na siya
lapad.
sa yes buntag.
Yes.
Inom na.
Sad Miglight ug mga Red Horse na diya abound.
Jesus, man.
Dapit sa bulangan. Ang tawag kay Kiss.
How do you survive on that routine and
the
diet?
the body is a wonderful creation of God. For some reason you adapt. It's like your clock just adapts. And it took me because I was in the call center for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
So your body just adapts, and you just have to take care of it. And obviously, food is always it plays a huge role.
And when you go back to your
Daytime
yeah,
working.
daytime working, how do you, I mean, nausab ba imong kinaon or
Yeah,
like
yeah. I think because now you can eat 3 square meals, so
yeah,
you pack in weight for
of
sure.
course, for sure. Okay,
You have
mag-reverse sa
more
pwede mong
chance of like eating because you before you always really was hoping you could sleep,
mm,
and sleep early. So it was food was probably I don't know, food was an afterthought. So you ate because you needed it,
mm.
and then you slept the rest of the day.
Unsa po din yung like the usual lunch at 12 a.m. in the morning?
Could be the normal mga karinderya stuff. So in Arriba before there was a family that sort of monopolized the
Mo ba?
so they knew that everyone was gonna be at lunch at 1 a.m. So they
Mm.
would come with meals, mga packed lunches na. So they would bring, and they were a family, and mother siya sa isa na mo ka agent. So they sort of like monopolized, they cornered the market, and they were there all the time. So every night they would serve um, afritada mechado embutido,
Jesus.
chicken, fried lumpia,
Oof.
pancit, and then of course rice, hot dog, and then you have fried anything.
Damn it.
So yeah, proper
Lamig
proper
sab?
proper lunches, of course, yes, of course, and obviously there kiss was the option if you they
Mm.
they
If you
they,
want
they
to
had
splurge,
really they
kumbaga.
had really good ako ano sa kiss they had really good chicharong bulaklak.
Mm.
That's for sure. And then obviously ang ilahang ano sad pansit, mga pansit options nila was also good. Kaya paluto man siya. Their style was actually paluto.
Speaking of Kiss and Katkai, there was one joint there, and maybe you can help me
Yeah,
remember.
sure.
Nay lamig nga.
Just
Um,
tell me the food.
s- so I remember katong gatrabaho mi ni Shane. We would splurge on this place along that strip sa Katkai.
Yeah.
Um, and they would serve killer pizza. Dili yellow cup. Kwanto siya. It was a cafe. Medyo social lang to siyang cafe,
I'm
but they
sure.
serve really good
Pizza.
pizza. Oh. So kung atong hinumduman sa una,
Yeah,
uh,
locate it for me. Just
yeah.
yeah.
So you have that strip, right? So you have sa una katong sige to imnanan um site.
The site.
The site then ay murag tulo pa to ka imnanan and they were on that corner. So lately um katong
Goodness.
bago raw naman ni uli dito. Mo ni siya ang strip, 'di ba? Then nay big beast bitaw dani.
Yes.
Kana before sa big beast.
Gosh.
So ang big beast 'di ba the big beast ang big beast nga spot was sort of protruding sa 'di ba?
Yeah.
Galabaw siya 'di ba
Yes.
sa
Yes.
strip.
Yes.
So before mo labaw ang strip kana siya
Hold on.
nay cafe
God,
diha sa una.
it's been a long
Yeah,
time.
it was a long time ago, but that was probably
Apart from the pizza, what did they serve?
maski unsay. I mean the traditional
The
ones.
traditional
Yeah,
na
I mean
did was this the one that served cheese sticks?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, didn't siya candies, right? 100% this is not candies.
No, it
Because candies is recent.
yeah, no, no,
It's
no,
got to be
no,
recent.
no, no.
Is that the one in the pinaka corner? So remember we used to perform sa
Mm.
the site.
So 'di ba
Pijo's.
exactly.
Was it
So
Pijo's?
no, no,
No?
no, not Pijo. So you have the side Pijos and napay candies man siguro yung
I think
tapat sa
yeah. Yeah.
Pijos.
Yeah.
Tapat ana. So
Gosh.
tapat
Yeah.
ana and then you have Big Beast na dayon.
Right,
Mm.
right. That oh my god, Rosario Arcade has changed for like
Yeah,
gosh. And there's Macumba at the
and
top.
there's
Yeah.
Macumba,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Okay,
fun
so
times.
is that like is that like authentic Italian pizza or was it like
No, I'm it's
just your
yeah, it's made like any other pizza pero kay cheesy lang kay siya. Gagmay.
yeah, right, 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 right.
Baga kayo mga kuan, mga toppings. lami kig sauce.
Gakatintal ko i-search na ko
Yeah.
siya. We
Yeah.
have to find out the name. Okay.
So while you're searching, I'm
Ito mga tulog.
giving a shout out to Mokong's Lechon Belly.
Hey!
Hey,
Mokong's Lechon Belly, the best lechon belly in the UAE, for
yeah, best
sure.
Lechon Belly in the UAE. So for all our listeners or viewers who are based in the UAE, do message Mokong's over here, Mr. Mike
Thank you
Rodriguez,
very much.
for any of your
Future orders.
culinary order
Questions. Culinary
adventures,
questions and culinary
questions.
adventures,
Yes,
yes.
exactly. Um, so I'm a regular at his, and I would
Yeah.
always go for not only the lechon but also the pork barbecue a la Kogon is one. Chicken a la pobre is one.
Yeah, your favorite for sure.
What was it? What do you call your pancit?
It's pancit bihon. Chicken
Pancit
pancit
bean.
bihon,
Yeah,
yeah.
chicken pancit bean is also a killer in there. And a whole lot more. And then his wife, Miss Iman. I would call her Miss Iman. She
Miss
also
Eamon.
bakes
Yeah.
killer desserts, killer cakes. So yeah,
I think it's more of a I'm not sure if this is the name, bro. Is it BFB?
you got it. Is it? Can I see it?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah. I just searched, I'm very good at Googling. I think it's BFB
I
because it's
think
got
it
to be,
is.
yeah.
I think it
I remember
is.
probably eating there before because they were serving hot fried cheese sticks. And
Yes,
I
I think
think
this
I
is
think
it.
probably this was not even well, I'm not shy to say, but probably this was pre-Eman time. This
Yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah,
before
yeah. It
Eman.
was way before.
Before,
It
yeah.
was way before.
This was before
Yes,
2000
BFB.
2006. BFB.
Man, we love this place.
Yeah, yeah.
Lumikay lang ko. And
Ilang
they
pizza. Yeah.
also and it's probably not the best iced tea, but we love the iced tea kay
Hmm.
murag I think ang preference ako nasa iced tea kay basta tamis.
Right, right. Na nailasa. And medyo lemony ang iyang taste.
Yeah.
I think the best iced tea for me is going back to Hannibal's. Because they
Oh yeah.
ilang i-shake ang imong iced tea. So it would be like really frothy and
Yeah.
yeah, it paired well with their pasta. Di sa ginako na malimtan nga restaurant because it's like when you have when your allowance is still
Mhm.
full
Yeah.
back in high school, you would you would go to a place like, for example, you would go to Divisoria and then go to Hannibal's, and
Mm.
then if I wasn't if I wasn't probably just loitering in that place, I would I would go to Hannibal's. And then of course you probably don't remember this. How about Oro Shawarma? Oro Shawarma.
Or shawarma.
Now I remember, if there is a place that I would go again, that always would the taste right now would still be the same and would not disappoint, is the shawarmahan. I think the best in Cagayan City, Oro Shawarma. You remember Homefront?
Ah,
Homefront.
dude. Yes, I remember.
You
Kadumdum na ko.
remember Viajero?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Momam po ng dool sa butchers.
This one right here.
'Di ba? Manang
This
dool sa
whole
butchers, 'di ba? Kada
this
strip, 'di ba?
spot, the strip
Yeah.
where they prepare really really good food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kadumdum ko sa Oro Shawarma sa una. Kadumdum ko nga nag-order ko og Oro Shawarma. I think it was the first time.
What does it go well with? Or shawarma
It
with
goes it goes well with the paper. Kay sa una, 'di ba iputos sa nilang papel, 'di ba? So so what happened was I think
what a
what a maru.
what a blooper.
Um
Okay.
so nag-order ko wala I'm pretty sure I was drunk at the time.
Again.
And nag-order ko Oro Shawarma. And syempre,
Siyempre, yeah.
gutom na kay ka. And pagkaon ako, I was like, wow, interesting texture. Pagtanaw na ako sa likod, no? Papel.
Apil.
Naapil na
Because
papel.
naapil ni mo siguro kapag pag iniwa isuksok mo na nila sa tao.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Exactly. So yeah, it goes well
Don't
with
serve my friend
paper.
paper. Oh my
But
God.
seriously, that was killer shawarma.
Their
I mean,
sauce. Yeah.
yes, the
The sauce.
sauce was
When I tried when I attempted to make shawarma and miserably failed, katong the last time I brought you
mm,
free ones, I could not capture the softness sa ilahang bread nga gigamit ug ang texture sa
yeah,
meat.
yeah.
But definitely, props to or
But now
shawarma
that
for
I think of it, and now that I've tasted close to the authentic shawarma
yeah
from the Middle East regions,
yeah
Lahi ilang timpla no sa Ora
I
shawarma no.
told you. Yeah.
Lahi,
Lahi.
lahi. Pero lami kay siya.
This is why. Yeah. It's
Lahi kay siya.
it's it's lahi, but you would always remember it and
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
come
for
back to it.
sure.
Ang katong garlic
Ang katong
sauce.
garlic sauce. Yeah, I think the
And
sauce
hang.
was killer.
For sure.
Napa sila karon?
Yes, they are
I should
still
probably
open.
naglaway sa kuda.
Yeah.
Thinking of it.
One of those
Lami kay siya.
spots that I would never I
In
would
kana
never
bitong
it would never disappoint, and I would always recommend that to you, okay?
kana bitaw din in kanang pinasilupin bitaw nga cook bitaw din.
Mm.
Kanang bugnaw pa bitaw
Yeah,
kayo.
ako ato kanang di tag servan mo kanila og kanang sparkle or kanang lift.
Mm.
Kaya lift sa una, di ba? Murag daho nga bottle na tag
Oh,
5 ra.
yeah, yeah.
Sulit. Nako, so, nya, kana bitang when you're almost done with the shawarma nga mabilin bitang yang sauce.
Oo.
Nga,
Tilapi.
oh, papel. The texture of
That's
paper.
why I said it goes well with papel.
Speaking of, for example, mga bloopers, like that
Yeah.
was one blooper.
Yeah.
Did you have any more that you can remember? I can probably tell you. I had mine too.
I'm trying to. I'm still trying to. But go ahead with yours because I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember mine. I mean,
So
there are
while
a lot
you
of
while
those.
you while you recall imahang blooper, there was one specific one in high school, and this
Mm.
is really just I and still am one of those few people that would probably uh, die because of a dare. So
Mm.
nangaon mi sa Blueberry. We went to
Oh,
Blueberry Cafe.
blueberry,
Very
iconic,
posh, very
very
high
posh.
school. Yes.
The
The amount of people that I went with there has been very few.
kids back in the day when you really like this person and when you're about to propose or when you're about to profess your love,
And yes,
blueberry was the spot.
there's
Um,
something always going on
yeah, there's
in
always something
Blueberry.
on. Also at the same time when you're about to break up and when you've messed up your relationship
And you're about to say something.
and you're when you're called to blueberry in a blue moon, then yes, you're doomed.
You're doomed. Yes.
There nagi drama diba?
There's always going to be some drama. And you're absolutely right. That day that we went, that was a week before prom.
Mm.
So, nagtipok ang the usual suspects like Bambi, Samantha, Diana, Marale, Mark, and Murky. So, the dare was, gihalo nila tanan, ito sa chocolate drink, gihalo nila tanan ang salt, a bit of salt, pepper, more pepper,
Of course.
and then mix it up, and then creamer and all that, and then it was half a cup like this, clear glass, and then he said, "Okay, if you drink this, your meal is on us." And I had a burger and some fries. I said, "Of course." I drank it, and I completed it.
Mm. Say lasa.
2 weeks nonstop diarrhea. It
You had the
tasted like
runs.
nothing. I had the runs. I'm exaggerating. It's probably not 2 weeks, but they probably remember me for that because I was doing crazy stuff before crazy stuff was invented.
Jesus.
What a blooper! Like school was up the next day, and like what you said, they would always like every dramatic thing would always happen. It's either in Blueberry Cafe or in when we got a bit older in Consuelos.
Asa ginagkonsuelos gan?
Consuelos is just right after Diamond Tip. It's owned by the
Oh, okay, okay.
Aberasturiz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I remember that place.
The
Yeah.
steakhouse. The steakhouse. Consuelos Steakhouse.
Oh, nakakaon ako dito.
For
Murag wala pa.
sure. For sure.
Nakaon na ba ta dito?
Mm,
Probably, yeah.
for sure, yeah. One of those spots also that like that you would go to for like special family events. Na kanang
Mhm.
na mag-birthday, imong tita who's turning 55. That
Speaking of family events, I think the family restaurant that I will never forget because of my memories with the whole family kanang after me manimba was Koron Koron.
Oh yes. Kami said, bro.
I
Koron-koron. Ang manok sa
think
koron-koron, yes.
ang manok sa Koron Koron. And I never
Koron-koron.
thought how unhealthy it was pero ang kanabitong
What did you
sabaw
have?
dili
Oh.
ang kanang sabaw sa ang kanang sabaw sa lechon manok ba?
Oh,
Muy
yeah, yeah, yeah,
muy
yeah.
bahog
Kanang iyang
imong
sebo.
oh kanang yung sebo mo
Oh my
imong
God.
isabaw sa rice.
Pero
Ah,
they had koron-koron everywhere. There was koron-koron in Divisoria,
Carmen.
naasad sa Carmen,
Mm.
naasad sa may Patag, di ba?
Mm.
There's like always
Yeah. Yeah.
They were endemic. Now I wondered why they would call the place Coron Coron. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys would could tell us why it's
And
called.
murag wala naman sila, dugay naman sila na nirado
I
na.
think so. Oh.
We would always go to the one in Corrales. I will never
Coron
forget.
Coron sa Corales.
I'll
Yes.
never forget that kay kada na mo murag, I think shout out to Jim Birds. I think kada suldo ni Jim Birds, I think he would take us there
Yeah. After
after
Zelda.
Sunday mass.
Mm.
It was the best, man. I
Yeah.
mean, madumduman pa na ko ang taste,
Yes.
ang
I I
ang
I hear
timpla
you.
ba.
I hear you. I hear you. Kana bitang ang manok nila nga chop na
Yeah.
gibutang na bitaw on the side na
Yeah.
gi-arrange siya neatly.
Yeah.
And then you have the nasa na sila killer sad nga afritada
Uh,
kana mga inana nga sudan ba na.
okay, I remember my blooper now.
Okay, go for it.
So this was, I think, siguro mga 5 years back when the
Oh, recent. Pretty recent.
yeah. So ex-pops Doyle Kalawan and his wife Kring Kring was living with us, Michelle.
Mm. Masyal,
So
yeah.
I think si Shane man siguro to. Shane, my wife, nagluto man siguro siya og nagnochel siya og manok, lechon manok. And obviously ato nga time. So kada laging maanad lagi ka ng kanang yang sebo mo imong mo imong
Ibahog sa rice.
sabaw nimo sa rice, di ba? So Shane immediately knew nga kada human niya og luto og lechon nga manok. Kami ni Doy matumi diretso dito sa oven. Kaya among i-scrape lagi
Ang kana yeah.
ang sauce sa sabaw.
Salt,
So excited na kami adto kay masimutan
Manok
ba
ba
yan
yan?
mo?
Oo,
Masimutan
manok,
ba yan nimo pag uman, di ba?
Umot ba kay na, yeah.
So nagkuha mig rice ana. So amo nang giandam kay amo lagi isabaw lagi. So pagsulod na mo, ang gibuhat ni Shane, yung gibutangan og sabon.
Oh God. Okay, para
Oo.
madigris.
Mandigris. So yang gisabunan para
Wala
dili na
di-
mo makuha ang kuan.
gituyo niya.
Gituyo niya. Gituyo niya. The disappointment in our eyes.
Oo, kanang no.
Grabe.
Kanang
Grabe gid.
grabe gid. Oh,
Grabe gid. Murag
I know the feeling.
murag nawad-an mi gana og kaon og manok ato. Obviously ni kaon gyapon mi pero I can still remember the disappointment kid mo ato nga murag gisabunan ang sebo.
Ang imong flavor unta nga katong para sa imong rice.
Yeah. I'll never forget that.
Mahugno bitaw gid ang imong ba nga kanang susmo magita kong look
Yeah.
forward to aside sa chicken. Yeah.
Another one is Aling Violis.
Oh,
Aling Violis.
what was Aling Violis? Like for those na
Yeah. So
probably
Aling
the-
Violis was, so I'm not a regular, so I may not describe this properly, but it was sort of a spot where we go during the middle of the night after you've had an all-nighter,
After
or
inom.
after inom nga grabe kanang murag tas-tas nga
Tas-tas nga
inom
inom.
and you're hungry, mo to kag Aling Violis in Kugon
Yep.
to have sabaw nga baka. That was
That was
the
not sabaw sa baka. Humba.
humba day, sorry. Humba.
Foodhaus ang sabaw sa baka.
Sabaw. Humba.
Humba.
And napatoy usa ka putahe dito. So I remember sa una nga katong dili pa siminto tanan ang Violis.
Mhm.
Kuan pa to siya katong murag yuta pa bitaw
Yes.
ang kugon
I
na
know
to.
what you mean.
And I would remember to hubog kay ko inom kog sabaw and I felt something on my foot.
Okay.
I was like,
Felt it how?
like nalay ni dagan. So, murag nalay ni dagan. I thought, okay, maybe katong akong atbang lang.
Or tapat lang nimo nga
tapat lang nimo nga
nasagi ka kay
nasa-
hubog.
exactly. So, I didn't mind about it. And murag, okay.
Iring?
Or probably iring.
Mhm.
But no, lo and behold, dagko kayo ng mga ilaga gid ilabay. I'll never forget that.
Mga parokyano dito.
And
Ilaga.
during that time, or maybe dili ni siya Violi, so fact checked us. Let me
Yeah.
know if I'm
But
um,
maura man ang kanang sa kilid nga,
it
and I'm
could
pretty sure
it could also no it could be Violis, or it could be a different
nga resto
stand.
dito.
Oh, a
Not
different
restaurant,
stand.
another stand.
Another stand dito sa Kugon. Because I would remember medyo masimutan gani mo ang isda pa dito kay kuan pa man siya.
Fish section man
Oh,
siya. Kana sa side. Ayang.
karon magud lately magud katong nag-renovate na sila katong simento
Simentado na.
na ana. Kuan na gid siya kanang it's a proper stand, and walay baho sa isda or
Wala na,
anything.
wala na.
It's it doesn't mean nga baho siya, but masimutan na limang isda.
Naang hint
Na
sa
nang kuan
sa
sa
fish
merkado.
market. Yeah, sa merkado.
But I mean, it didn't bother
No,
the
no, 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 no,
patrons
no. No, for sure. For sure.
of that eatery. Um,
Yeah, remember ka, I don't know kung si Blues pa to gayon sa to na aside sa ilahang humba, it was meatballs, I think.
yes, exactly. Yeah, and
Bula-bula.
yeah. I also another
Gigutom,
another
gigutom ko na.
another blooper I had was still aling violis nga on me didto kalimot ko kang sa to nga pickup truck na mong gisakyan. So kanang bitong hubog ka, then
Pick up truck. Kuyog naman si Blues sa to?
kuya na si Blood sa
The
to.
barba guro.
Basin mo rag.
Wala in pick up. Barba.
Um, so inom mi dito gikan mig no gikan mig
Sa may kanto.
party sa call center
Ah.
sa dagat. I think you were there.
Really?
Uh,
Mm.
so nagpadagat sila adto,
Sa may
gibitar ko
gapi.
niya,
Ah.
siya inom ta. dire.
Oo.
So kadumtong ko gabi na
Party.
to,
Oo.
party.
Could be. Mm.
So inom mi then nabtantag mga alas 12 gyapon didto.
Kita ni to kara to sa nga party or
No, wala pa ito car
wala pa ito
adto.
car. Oh.
Murag kuha lang to nila kanang murag either Christmas party or basta kay party
Basta
lang
party.
to. Tipok-tipok lang. Then ato mig aling violis ngaon mi dito, and we were so drunk. Pag human igo lang ko naman og kaong aling violis, suka din ko dito.
Of course.
Gawas.
Bahog ug pato.
Bahog ug pato. Contribute sa lapok.
Baby B.
Baby B.
So, itawag siya Baby Burrits. But obviously, he comes
Yeah.
with a different name. Link.
So this is Baby Link.
Baby Link. Hello, Baby Link.
He's turning 1
You are?
in a couple months time.
He is officially our first guest.
Yeah, he is. Say hi to the camera.
Say
dude.
hi. Say hi to the camera. There.
Say hi.
There.
Say hi to the camera. Yeah, there you go. Say hi.
Hello, camera. My name is Baby B, and I'm a small pumpkin.
So this guy, his staple food is brown bread.
Staple food.
Yeah. He loves brown
Brown bread.
bread. And he has African mandarins for dessert.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
I keep
there you
telling
go.
you about Palos Restaurante.
I think moments ago na.
Ay,
So we're asking
we're
people around
getting-
the household if they can remember this
Yes.
place.
And tanan may mga Cagayanos. Obviously,
Yeah.
we should be able to figure out.
I'm not even sure if Imnanan gyapon.
Silugan.
Imnanan og silug. Dili, backyard is Savior na
No,
na siya
Xavier
dapit.
na. Yes.
I'm not even sure kung pabayo. I'm not even sure kung pabayo ang saktong nga ngalan gani. Yeah,
Pumpkin, do you know?
there's
Baby
There's a-
pumpkin, do you know?
there's a pumpkin within.
Pumpkin on the loose.
All right, I'm going to give this back.
Makmak silugan patag man eh. Asam ni dapita. Akan ang kurang na mention na namo na. Ato na lang i-place ang kung asa ang gazebo ha.
Thank you.
Gazebo.
All right. Yeah, naka-test build na. Sorry. All right, we give up. I think I'm creating more confusion than.
No, this is very muna siya mga gitawag na if you can't remember a place, then they're probably really not it's either they're not memorable or we cannot find them in Google or we cannot order. Imagine the other people na dili ko order because you cannot find them. I mean, you like to order it in a place but you cannot find them because it's not easy. So,
Yeah, but well, yeah, I probably have misplaced um this particular spot. Dili man gid siguro ni pabayog. I'm
I'm pretty sure,
probably
yeah.
thinking of
But like speaking of finding places
mm,
for dining or eating, uh, what's one of the differences in terms of dining that imong how to say, um you can speak about sa Dubai compared to sa Cagayan or City, for example, or sa Philippines? Like in what ways are they different?
mm, well, for one thing, I've observed dagko ang mga servings sa Dubai
Hmm.
in most of the restaurants that I've been to,
Right.
except for Filipino restaurants actually.
Yeah.
Pare-pareho lang serving sa Pilas.
Parehas lang. True.
But the thing is with Dubai though, you have a lot of restaurants and a lot of cuisines because it's obviously a melting pot of different nationalities.
Nationalities. Yeah.
Um, so the and on a certain level of a restaurant, kumbaga, so let's say the mid tier.
Hmm.
What are mid tier? Actually, I'm not even that an expert on how to categorize. So let's say,
Yeah.
um, would you consider PF Chang's as a mid tier? No, no, no.
No. No.
That's a higher one,
Like a
right?
relatively higher one. Yeah.
Chili's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably Chili's. Yeah.
Kung is Chili's comparable to Big B's? No.
No.
Dili, 'di ba?
Hmm.
Mas
Yeah.
mas higher end pagyapon ng Big
Well,
B's.
yeah. Like in the
Like,
contrary, you're right. Like if a big piece and a
what's
chili would
a
be the same,
no, no,
PF Chang's and Central would be like,
really? Would you
I would associate that. Yeah.
okay, so what's a comparable, let's say, um yeah, let's say Chili's. What would be a comparable restaurant sa Cagayan de Oro in this case?
Chili's. Um,
Silugan.
Chili's is like
No, no. That's too social.
yeah. It's
Um
something. It's we will find it for sure.
yeah.
We will find it. Our listeners, and we will find it out.
Yeah, probably.
Porsche Tams cafeteria.
Uh so um what I was what I was about to say
Chili's.
is
Associate Chili's with a like a restaurant. I would
yeah.
I would say yeah, Chili's would be like that cafe. Like for example, uh how to say, not the steakhouse. It's not Consuelos.
But whatever it is, so my point
Yeah.
is I think there's a difference in the service as well.
Services, definitely
Um
service is a difference maker.
yeah, so
Portions, service.
yeah, portion service. Service in a way nga dili man poor service sa Cagayan de Oro, but I would notice that the restaurants here with their staff, they're more, or at least the places that we've been to, they're more sort of detailed and attentive to, let's say, what's on the menu,
Right.
what they can recommend.
Yeah.
Sa Pilipinas or sa Cagayan de Oro, medyo they're sort of passive, but I would understand nga murag passive ang service is because um ang menu is very common to the common folk, kumbaga. There's not
Right.
di bitaw pareha dani nga you can go to an Arabic restaurant which is different from a Turkish restaurant which
But
is
it's different
different
from
from an Iranian restaurant
right, right.
which is different from, let's say, a European restaurant. So
Yep.
each one of them would tell you specifically what is the dish, where is it coming from, how
How is it prepared?
yeah, how is it prepared, how is it served, what's best paired with, kumbaga,
Yeah.
sa sa Cagayan de Oro Magod or Pilipinas in general, it's whatever restaurant you may go, except for really very specific ones,
Yeah.
the menu is very common. Like is kundili ba tapsilog, it's the common Filipino food.
Right.
Um it's poultry, it's pork, it's beef.
Yeah.
So dili na kayo mag-change. So dili na sila kailangan
Like a
mag-explain.
set menu that
Exactly.
everybody
So
knows about.
yeah.
Yes.
So dili na sila kailangan mag-explain in detail because
Yeah.
everybody knows what, let's say, humba is or what is
Mm.
karinderya or unsa pa ba diya nga Filipino food.
Usually
So
we would call the waiter for like if we want water, if we want
yeah,
drinks to go with. Yeah.
a very good point. That's another thing is that in Dubai at least, uh, even at the siguro katong mga basic na restaurants, ang ilang pakapin like wet wipes or free bread,
Yep.
free nuts, when in bars,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily see that
Get that.
often sa Pinas.
Sa
So
Pinas.
those
Yeah.
those are the things that I
Like
observe.
the little things that they serve
Yeah.
before, like the like I remember speaking of bread, like the sweet bread, and the like the how to say the tray of bread that they serve in Texas Roadhouse. So before while you're waiting,
Yeah.
you wait for correct.
Sa kadumdum po ko sa Carlucius.
Oh yes,
Carlucius. Carl,
Caluccios, yeah,
Carlucius.
Caluccios, yeah, Caluccios,
Carlucius.
Italian, yeah.
Uh, they have their killer murag uh, what is it? Garlic bread man siguro.
They're known for that, yeah.
It's paired with I think it was oil, olive oil.
Mm-mm.
Olive oil and murag soy sauce nila combine.
Oh,
Kana
really?
bitaw. Lamig kayo usually mabusog ka. Another one is Cheesecake Factory.
Oh yes, yes, definitely.
Ang pan murag sudan.
Yeah,
Kadagko.
definitely. Sa portion, you're
Sa
absolutely
por-
right.
Grabe kadagko and grabe ka flavorful and it's almost I mean the first time we went there murag grabe namang kaon dito kay obviously kung gutom na ka
Yeah.
kaon na ka dito and then you end up not really finishing your main course kay murag busog na
Busog
kay
na
ka
kay
sa
ka.
pan. Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly.
But
So
I'm always curious about Cheesecake Factory. Okay, what's with the lighting?
I don't know.
It's their thing.
Yeah, it's probably their thing. I usually hate those.
You're not a big fan of that, yeah.
Not a well, hate is a big word,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a fan of
Not a
those.
fan, yeah.
The only restaurant which I enjoyed dim lighting was in the steakhouses in Amsterdam. Kana sila, but they do dim light with the proper way. Kung ang steakhouse mag dim light sila nga dim light nga di na kita sa imong pagkaon.
That's another thing for sure.
Murag it's
I just sorry I just stabbed you, honey.
it's ridiculous. Ang sa mga steakhouses. I mean, I'm saying Amsterdam because dito ram gana ko na
Yeah, yeah,
experience.
yeah. Right, right,
Okay,
right.
the gun apparently for
For
some
sure,
reason
there's more.
for some reason there are a lot of Argentinian steakhouses in Amsterdam. Ang ilang style ito is a dim siya, tibok restaurant. So when you go in, you can really feel it's dark.
Yeah.
But then they have sort of lamps overhead.
Right, right,
Murag,
right.
ginana sila.
Mm.
And the lights are only pointing to
To-
your table and your food.
Right, right.
So,
So you see everything that
yeah,
you're doing. so-
exactly. I mean, it's also very visual kay syempre kung steakhouse dagko kay mga nga steak or kanang mga BB back ribs
This
nila.
is not the one that like the Brazilian restaurants that they slice.
No.
It's a proper.
Have you been to one of those here in
No,
Dubai?
no, I have not.
Are
I
you
wanted
are
to.
you a
but
fan of those?
I could be if my wife could.
Maybe we can try it out.
Maybe we
So,
could try. Yeah.
there's the there are two restaurants that we've tried it sa Gauchos.
Mhm.
Sobra ra kay ka-heavy ang meat and murag ang pagkaparat murag sobra ra pod. The one that's really good is kanang Texas de Brazil sa MOE.
Emirates. Is MOE? There's one here in front of Emirates Towers, in Sheikh Zayed Road.
Oh, okay.
There is one in I think this hotel or beside was it beside the hotel, where it's a proper Brazilian steakhouse also.
Yeah.
We should probably
Yeah, that's
try that one of these days.
Yeah.
Because I've never been, but
Pero
of
di
course
lang,
beef is
di lang pwede sa ex-pops kay.
This is why we have family and we have loved ones that have been stricken by the rich man's disease.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But yeah, we should go to one of those.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Heavy lang kayo siya at times.
Yeah.
Let me turn on the lights. Yeah,
Afflict.
turn it.
Yeah. People afflicted with gout. Gouters be gouting. Where are we sa time? Um. Okay, quarter.
Yeah, we're 3 minutes into our an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay.
Um, we can still go on. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot to talk to still when it comes to food. Um, so where were we? Oh yeah, meat, st- steaks.
Steaks.
Are you a
Yeah.
fan?
Oh yeah. Of course. Yes. Yes.
I'm trying to remember. Do you do you have a particular preference? Because I'll
I
tell
do.
you later on.
I have. I
But
have.
describe to me like a perfect steak for you.
A perfect steak would be served medium well.
Medium well, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
for me
Mm,
with a proper with proper gravy
mm.
and of course rice. Cannot be with any other.
Really?
I eat it
Rice
with
for you
rice. Yeah, rice.
for steak?
Yeah,
Okay,
and for
interesting.
yeah, very Filipino. It's got to be with
Mm,
rice, or
mm.
else if I only have steak, then it's like just meat
Obviously, you've had steak with mash, right?
with mash too.
Yeah.
I like it, but I like it with rice.
Oh, okay. So the best steak I've had, I'll really have to go back to Japan on this one.
Ooh,
But it's so y- this is interesting. Um, or interesting for me. I've went
I'm
to
sure it's interesting.
I went to Buenos Aires
Mm,
years before for company training, not my own
expense. Yeah.
expense. It was for a training. I went there for 3 days, and we were taken to a sort of a locally owned Argentinian steakhouse,
Steakhouse. Yeah.
and it was the full shebang. Like, wow, kabalo sa ngala to steak, but proper gito siya nga steak nga dako siya size.
Hmm.
And there were a couple of dancers. Sige na ilang sayo nila. I think it was
Flamenco.
flamenco, was it? Or was basta kay kanang sikat sa Argentina.
Hmm.
So naigasayaw, steak and Argentinian wine, perfect pair.
Hmm.
So, but that meal was forgettable for me. Even though I'm in Argentina, which is who is famous for steak.
Hmm.
And we so kato siya, I thought that was the best steak, pero dili. Yeah. The best steak for me is very it came from a very very odd place, and it is
Where?
a hotel restaurant that serves breakfast. Dili pa gid siya ingon nga proper restaurant.
Right. Right.
It is one of those restaurants nga gibutang dito para mo serve o breakfast and meals for hotel guests in
Yeah.
Osaka.
Right. Right.
In
Like a bed and breakfast. Yeah, na style.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we went there. We usually stay in this hotel kay na naman siya sulod sa hotel sa airport
So
good.
oh, right. Right. Right.
So ang style naman is Dubai to Osaka, then Osaka to Hokkaido. That's where
Manaimang. That's the
that's our main
itinerary.
destination.
Yeah.
Kay that's where our family is.
Yes.
So we went to this hotel.
Sure.
We had our breakfast at 7 a.m. I was like, okay, the traditional Japanese breakfast where you
Right.
have rice, different kinds of yakitori,
Hmm.
and they have sort of katong ilang mga vegetables
Right.
and all
Right. The
that.
selection. Yeah.
And there's a very, very tiny area there. Platito.
Hmm.
Platito with this size cuts of steak.
Kobe or Wagyu.
It could be Wagyu, it could be Kobe, whatever that is. Wala ko kabalo. But it's like this, and it's medium well. Okay, medium well. Gagmay ano. In in
Cubes.
in
Cubes.
in dili po siya cubes kay nanay man siya
Okay.
katagagas.
Okay. Okay. Mm.
Na ibuta sa platito. It's very discreet on the corner. So nagkuha mi syempre kay para patilawan
Telo.
tanan.
Oh.
It melted in our mouths.
Wow.
Sobra ka humok. Ang timpla pagid, you can taste that it was just salt and pepper.
For sure.
And the way that it's dili pagid siya ingon nga kanang makita nimo ang pig, it's just a touch of pink, same texture, ang
Yeah.
same color, but it melted
Probably it
in
was
your mouth.
medium rare, but
Yeah,
it
it's
melted.
medium
Yeah.
rare. And also that was the first time, well, one of the very few times na mukhaan cook steak with rice, and it worked really well.
Yeah. I,
And also one of the very few times that I would have steak on a breakfast.
mm-hmm.
Yung murag bugat ra kay na.
Yeah.
But kato siya,
Kato on that
yeah.
platito and
And
then with
in a
the
very discreet, mura siya
man.
nag kanang bitang kung moadto kag buffet then na mga siguro mga side dishes on
Yeah.
nga
Nga nasa corner
gibutang ra
lang.
nga
Oo.
pampadugang na
Oo.
bitaw sa kuan inana siya dito.
Yeah,
So
right,
it's a
right.
very very discreet area of the
Yeah.
restaurant, but one of the best steaks, probably the best steak that
That you
I've had.
had.
Yeah.
That you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this just something about food na we can all you and I always associate it with the places we've
Yeah.
been to. So I'm glad you brought it up because obviously one of my main passions now is obviously food.
Mm.
And the one thing that you always tell me about your preference for food is food that takes you back
Yeah. Yeah,
to a place,
I mean
to a
this
memory,
yeah, that's a very good point because I think this is I mean, we've been talking about in this episode is all of those great memories that we've had for food. I think food, as great as it is and as very biological of a purpose as it is,
Yeah,
it really takes you back to memories that we've had before.
for sure.
And
Sure.
no matter where we are, I mean, especially for us when we travel, before the pandemic when we were traveling regularly, maski asa may padulong, I think Filipino food or home cooked food.
Yeah. Home cooked food.
Yeah, I think that's the case for everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
when we talk to our colleagues or who are from the Middle East, and most of them would say lami gid kayang Egyptian food. It's because they're from Egypt,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
and same thing
And
with
and I've tasted their cuisine.
yeah.
Yes, I would say there's just something about home cooking good.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I remember this once. I had a I was man I was a manager for quite some time in my previous company, and one of my colleagues was an Egyptian guy, and we went to Cairo again for training,
Hmm.
and he said, "Hey, since you're here,
Yeah.
let's have lunch in my house. My mom is cooking,"
Wow,
and I
that's
was
good.
like, and at first tingin ko nga ayun lang, "Uy, ulo kaayo
Mhm. Right,
murag
right, right,
kuan, I
right.
don't want you
Yeah,
to bother
it's like
your
a
mom,
family.
and
Yeah, yeah,
besides I'm only here for a couple of days
sure.
and I'm staying at a hotel, so medyo maikog ko." But obviously as hospitable as they are, he insists, so yato ko. And it was, I think, 30-minute drive from Cairo, from where we were.
Yeah,
Pagabot na ako and I was like, sa kalamisa. And oh, dagan siguro bisita na not only, and so nangutan ako sa iya kung
right. Basing invite proper
ano
proper
kung so
nga
who's coming? I mean,
celebration.
murag, I saw ang lamisa is literally good for 8 people,
Packed with food,
packed
like
with
for eight
food,
people.
and he was like, "Inko nga mabuti mong mga igagaw," and
Mm-hmm.
siya, "No, that's ikaw lang ang mong bisita."
Oh God.
It was
Oh man.
literally a feast in there.
The hospitality.
Yeah,
Wow. The
and
show of
her
hospitality.
and her
Yes.
mom came out. God bless her soul.
Mm.
Namatay na rin siya.
Oh,
Couple,
God bless
yeah,
her. God bless
yeah.
her. Yeah.
God bless her. And syempre nikaon ko wala syempre wala na ako
Simple.
naurot. Pero it was really great in the sense that it's home cooked food,
For sure. Yeah.
and most of them are obviously the Egyptian delicacies, and gipabaonan pa gid ko akong paborito nga dessert, which is umali.
Oh.
How would you describe umali?
I don't know what it is.
You haven't
I
had
haven't
umali?
had it. I haven't had it. No.
So umali is
I haven't had it.
um is is broken pieces of bread dipped in milk with other
N-
kanang murag,
Nuts or fruits?
yeah, exactly. So either
Umali.
nuts, napod siya raisins, Um, ang uban kasagulan nila fruit, but
Mm-hmm.
it's basically ang yung core niya is kanang pan nga gi kusnit-kusnit,
Kusnit, right?
baked,
Like
yeah,
pudding. Mm.
pudding, baked, and then nasa gatas
Got it,
nga
got it. So
tamis.
it's like bread
So
pudding.
it's
Mm.
warm.
Yes.
So gipadalan ko niya sa iyang mama og duha ka bowl adto, and I couldn't say no because
Of
iya lagi
course.
daw ang gihimo,
Oh,
obviously.
homemade man. So you have to
It's
bring it.
and it's complete with kanang bitong murag yang kanang
Yahong.
clay niya.
Ang pot
You
niya
know,
clay.
ang
Mm.
clay nga pot nga inani kadako, and then
Duha
it's
ato, duha.
aduha, and it's covered with tinfoil, and it's you can see that it was really made yeah, just this morning, and murag giandam ginya giputos ginya, so I had to take it. Obviously I ate it pag-abot na ako sa hotel. Um, but yeah, man, that was something else. Like it's when a mom cooks for you,
Yeah.
and especially kung dili pa kay ni, if you're not that close, you'll sort of strike the bond. And I told her that, you know, Mustafa was the name of my colleague, that
Yeah.
he's really doing well, and she was really happy,
Sure.
because Mustafa
Hold
was
up, hold up. Oath?
no, not Oath.
Another Mustafa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
Mustafa. And he was, I think he was the youngest in the family, and and his mother was a bit worried that he was living in Dubai on his own.
Right.
Nga murag medyo he was still young at that time,
Sure.
but the kid was really smart,
Yeah. Yeah.
like really smart,
And well fed.
and well fed.
Sure.
And
Well
he
fed. Yeah.
sometimes jokes like, Mustafa, what's your dream in life? And he would go, my dream would be to have two wives.
Uh,
Simple, direct. He knows what he
he
wants.
knows what he wants, and he absolutely has a plan
Yeah,
to make it happen.
yeah.
He
And
wants to have two wives.
he wants to have two wives, and we would laugh. And he was also a funny guy, and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
had
yeah.
charisma, and he
That
was
was
really smart.
that's
And
very good.
he's now, I think he's now managing the analytics team for Samsung. He's that
Mm.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a bad analogy, but for example, when I prepare for a DJ set,
Okay.
I love the part where I discover gems of
Uh-huh.
tracks
I know what you mean.
that I've never heard before, that I can't wait to share.
Mm.
What's an equivalent of that in cooking for you?
For me, I have cooked probably a lot of lechon belly
Mm,
already. When I have discovered, and when a customer requests the lechon to be sliced,
mm,
and of course you'll be tempted, and
mm,
this goes out. I mean, they probably know that I'm doing this.
mm.
I get that. I get to slice it, and it's soft and it's perfect. So that and you taste it. It's the proper seasoning. It's the proper melting of the meat, and it was cooked properly. Like when you discover that this is a perfect lechon belly,
That's what
and
gets you.
that's what always gets me to
Mm.
say, okay, that was the proper heat, that was the proper timing, that was the proper everything. And like discovering a gem, going to a restaurant and discovering a meal, and eating a meal and discovering, I want to prepare that, I want to cook that.
Mm.
And God bless this gift. When I eat something, I personally can break down flavors, and then I reverse engineer. Then you know that this is there, this is there, this is there. Then I build the menu from there.
All right. All right. So before we end this episode, you and I love to do the top fives.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I was actually waiting for the top five. Yeah.
okay, so I'll go
Dave's top
first.
five list. Go first. Top
Um,
top five of what?
favorite food.
Okay.
It's it's easy. So number one would be sinugba, obviously, for me. Number two would be, just to be on the healthy side, is my wife's grilled salmon
Oh,
with butter and salt.
of course.
Um, third would be your magical Mokong's pork barbecue a la Kogon.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah. That's It's really great.
So that's third. Fourth would be um I'm trying to go with a burger.
Mm-hmm.
I do love burger. Whether it be American or Jollibee,
A burger.
burger would be a good one for me.
Yeah.
And last but not the least, I have to cover dessert. Um, so yeah, I would have to go with Omali.
You have to go for the
Yeah, if
Omali.
just to go international on
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my top five.
That top five is it's close also to what I have, but I have sort of like my own. Obviously,
Mm.
the on my number five is obviously I like my wife's anything that my wife's that she does in terms of pasta. So
Mm-hmm.
whether it's pasta alfredo or pesto, definitely she has that. You know, she knows how to prepare it. Fourth one would be lengua. Definitely lengua estofado is the top of my list.
You better hook me up with some lengua.
I will prepare it first, and I will hook you up once I get
Yeah,
once I get
yeah.
it right. Mm. Um, third one, it's an odd choice. I am a big fan of Reese.
Reese.
Anything with chocolate and
Oh,
peanuts.
Reese the chocolate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And anything like that. It could be a Reese bar or a Reese anything like a cake or
Chocolate.
anything like chocolate. Yes, absolutely.
Mm. All right.
Honey, chocolate, anything like that. So
Honey,
I got
yes.
so chocolate. Yes, definitely that. Um, I absolutely love uh not really lechon, but it's there's this killer kilawin. You know kilawin, right?
Yeah, yeah, for
There
sure.
is one.
I mean, that's the distant cousin of sinugba.
Yeah, there's only one place in Miss Or that serves that
Mm.
in El Salvador.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I've been there.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you've been
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Bar none. That's the most favorite that I had once. That every Sunday when I was in Philippines before, we would
Mm.
go every Sunday, not miss it. Like make the travel,
Yeah, yeah.
make a 30-minute
Mm,
drive,
mm.
and then number one. This is very tricky. I'm an eater, so God, it could be anything. I guess if I would say right, I think anything that has God, anything that has I like
Gata.
no yeah I know like this is an odd choice, but I really really like anything with like anything with internal organs like papaitan,
Baklay.
paklay.
Ooh,
Definitely
X Pops.
papaitan, saris, X, X,
Kryptonite. X Pops
X
Kryptonite.
paps, paklay.
Yeah, I need to get.
We need to get hooked up again.
Yeah, I've
Whether he
never had.
likes it or he likes it a lot, we have to be hooked up.
Yeah, I don't care if he suffers. He has to make one for
He
us.
has to prepare one, and he has a choice either to have it with us or
Yeah,
we will have his share. But okay, Binoy Scout paklay would be one of those.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
on my top five.
All
All right.
right, cool. We better end this because pizza is waiting for us. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, guys, for staying with us
Yeah.
for episode one. We're planning to have this on a weekly basis.
Yes.
Again, it's a good excuse for us to banter and
Right.
just share stories,
Sure.
and hopefully we can have guests in the future. Apologies for mixing up places
Yeah. Not knowing where
and
is where.
not knowing where is where. Where we grew up in Cagayan de Oro, but
Yeah.
haven't been there for quite some time. So
Right. Right.
apologies, but do drop us some comments
Yeah.
on where those places that we've
Yes.
mentioned. I'm sure a lot of you know what we don't know when it comes to
Places have
yeah,
changed, obviously. Yes.
the go to places when
Yeah.
in Cagayan de Oro.
Sure.
So thanks again, guys, and see you on the next episode of Food
Yeah.
House.
Yeah. That has been Dave Fuentes.
and Mike Rodriguez.
See you guys on the next for Food House.
All right.
All right.
Ciao.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.